Have you ever felt like no matter what you did, you've done everything, but your body just won't let go of the weight? Well, hello, welcome to my channel. And today we are going to be talking about why your body holds on to weight and how to let it go. How to get your body to let it go forever, because that's the goal. How do we get the result? Normalize it so that we can consistently maintain the results that we are consciously going after. So for me, like I said, like I've been in that position before where no matter what I did, I used to think that my body was just stubborn, lazy, stuck. And, it just made it so hard for to enjoy the process of wanting to maintain a healthy body weight that I enjoy. That I would just never be like one of those girls that food and losing weight doesn't just take up so much space in your life. You're constantly having food noise, like unconsciously shaming yourself, paying every part of your life is paying attention to you know how the food that you're eating is going to affect your stomach, all the stuff, how you feel in your clothes. That's just a lot of noise chatter. And then you know that also kind of propelling you to want to try harder, do more. And no matter what you did, it felt like your body was against you and you were still not losing the weight. I always wish I was one of those girls that just woke up and their body is already tea. They don't have to do nothing, they don't have to try hard. But then, in the long run, I actually think that kind of also works against them because once you get old, no matter what your body weight is, you still gotta maintain it. There are some people who just naturally they won the genetics lottery. So naturally they have the proportions and all the right sizes, nice, petite, slim, thick. They're good. But how you look on the outside does not necessarily I would say make is not going to say what's the word I'm looking for? You're still going to have to work out to maintain your body, especially as you get older. You're gonna want to old people who fall and break their hips is because they stop using those muscles. So none of that exempts you from it. But one thing that working out does do is naturally, or eating right is naturally, you're going to get the body, that body aesthetics that comes with it, like the nice toned body. That's just a byproduct of just living a healthy lifestyle. But nobody's exempt from living a healthy lifestyle because of how they look on the outside. But anyways, let me get off this tangent. So because I struggle with that, it forced me to find ways to want to do these things to maintain my body for physical health. And there's always more stuff to do that I'm also working on, but at least something as basic as um changing my appetite to want to naturally crave healthier options, or enjoying moving my body. It's the highlight of my day. That is how I that has become my treat to myself. I don't get to work out or go to the dance studio if I haven't done some of the things, that the mundane things I need to do throughout the day. So you know, changing your mindset as to how to approach some of these things. And one thing I would say is the reason, where was I going with this? I lost my train of thought. One moment, let me pause. guys, I'm new to this too. And so even with creating this video, I lost my train of thought because I am a little bit nervous, even though I'm just talking to myself. But I regulated myself a bit and told myself it's okay to mess up. And I'm gonna show this in real time instead of trying to make things perfect. I think a huge reason as to why it's taken me so long to create videos in general is because I was just trying to make everything to be perfect. But I'm training my nervous system to be okay with messing up, because how else do you get better? By starting messy, doing it messy. And that is nervous system regulation in real time. And that's the same thing with your journey of like finding the routines that help you, lose that weight and let it go forever. And so ever since I learned nervous system regulation, you can apply it in any area of your life. But anyways, I'll give you like the quick gist of it, where with a lot of us live in a dysregulated state. So when you're regulated, like let's do a quick scale. When you're regulated, you're probably like a 0 to like 3. When you're dysregulated, I would say like 0 to like 4. And then when you're like dysregulated, it's like 5 to like 7. And then when you like really triggered, that's when you're like 8 and above, 8 to like 10. And so a lot of us, we live in stressful environments, or we just haven't processed a lot of like different traumas, big T, small t, big traumas, small traumas that we just don't allow ourselves to process, and then that gets stored in our body. So then our body lives in a constant state of dysregulation because of just how society is structured, your life, your own personal life experiences. And so when your body doesn't know, when your body is in a constant, doesn't feel safe naturally, and is in a constant state of survival, naturally is going to want to protect itself, store fat. It thinks that there's scarcity in things like food, or storing that extra fat from like whatever it is that, emotion that was stuck in your body that never got to run through your body. So it's like almost like protecting you. It's like extra layer of protection. And first of all, can we just acknowledge that like the body itself is very intelligent, and be grateful. Maybe it wasn't the most useful way of protecting you, but it had that mechanism. It wanted to do that for you, to protect you. So like sometimes even when I am frustrated, I'm not where I want to be yet. And I, instead of like shaming my body, I thank it for what it's able to do now. Thank you for taking me this far. Thank you for protecting me in the best way that you can. And even just acknowledging that starts to create some form of safety in your body. And so you start to see that like your body like doesn't just hold on to weight because it has something against you. It's just holding it because it doesn't feel safe. And now your only job is to help your body start to create safety in your body, start to create deep connection in your body, because you may consciously want to lose the weight. You may consciously have a goal. But if your body does not feel safe doing that, oh baby, your efforts are going to be futile. Or if you're able to like achieve those goals, you're going to be either capped at a certain point, or it's going to feel like rolling a ball up a hill instead of down the hill. So our goal is to learn how to create safety in our body, so that when you are trying to do some of these like actions moving towards losing the weight, now instead of working against your body, you're working with your body. So now these actions, yes, in the beginning will feel uncomfortable, but as you regulate your body through it, it now starts to feel like you're rolling downhill instead of uphill. And so that is my goal, and that's how you stay consistent. That's how you're able to have fun exploring like what you what you enjoy to eat, but it's also like going to help your body feel safe enough to want to like release the fat. And like sometimes too, when if all we're eating is like junk processed food, your body does not register that as real food. So your body knows what's real food, and because it does not register it as real food, it also will store that extra because it's waiting. It's scared if it loses the weight, where am I gonna get the next food? But now you can even start to train your body that like you live in abundance. You're not stuck. This is not the caveman time, because our body still operates from its primitive state. You know, our body hasn't evolved as fast as our environment has. So you're going to have is used to being in scarcity. Like the abundance of food we have today, our bodies are not used to that. They're used to having foods in seasons, and also used to like sometimes even going through long periods of starvation. So when it does not recognize like real food going into your body, is going to think that you're in that season of starvation and then hold on to that. And so with that, I have some notes here. Let me reference. And so when, yeah, we can move on to like now like signs that your body does not feel safe. Signs, would be when when you're stressed, you tend to crave like sugar, and sometimes when you're like tired but you've been sleeping all day, or you're tired or wired, those are signs that you're dysregulated. You're either over restricting or overeating, those are signs right there. And you always feel like bloated or inflamed, and you tend to like, this was the big one for me, you lose weight quickly but you gain it right back as well. And like, again, these are not signs of lack of discipline. This is just signs that your body's trying to protect you the way it knows how to. And so my tip for you would be, start building a relationship with your body. Instead of going immediately into like trying to like restrict like what I'm going to eat, like blah blah blah. Still have like some like form of structure with your meals for sure, but as you're doing it, try to notice what is going on in your body. Are you feeling numb? Are you feeling resistance? Or are you excited for like the meal that you're about to prepare? Or are you like shaming yourself? Like, take moments through the day to just even check in with your body. And if you're feeling disconnected or stressed in your body, you can take a second and ask your body like, what can I do right now to feel 5% safer? But just even noticing, we can do a quick, exercise right now together. So one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. Now I want you to slowly inhale through your nose and slowly exhale. Again, deep breath in slowly. slowly exhale. Now ask your body quietly, what would help me feel 5% safer right now? Don't force an answer, just notice. And right now, my body is telling me some hip rotation right now would feel good. And that helped bring me back into my body, especially since as I was doing this video, you know, I ended up got stuck in my head. And that's also like, in the world today, most of us live in our head and we completely forget that our body exists. So it's always good to get into the habit of just checking in. And even if you don't notice anything yet, or if you do, even if you don't notice anything yet, you know, because it's going to sometimes, some people is going to take time. It took time for me to be able to even notice subtle energy differences in my body. I didn't even know this was a whole thing. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, nervous system work is just life changing. Like, just doing something as small as this, you do this repeatedly, regularly, your body, you're gonna notice that your body's communicating with you all day. And you know, when you go in to like eat like a meal and you notice like your body is constricting or you feel shame, maybe you take the time first to regulate before you eat whatever's in front of you. Or, you know, you're going to start to notice the differences with different types of hunger. Sometimes it's not that you're hungry, you're stressed out, and then your body's looking for ways to regulate. So it goes now to the fridge to try and pick up something to eat. And before you pick up the food, can you regulate first? I'm not telling you don't eat the food. If you still want to eat the food, go ahead. But sometimes I've noticed by regulating, I no longer feel the need to eat. And so it's this little shifts, you know, of noticing what's going on in your body that will help build safety in your body. Now your body can trust that, like, you know when to eat, when your body is actually hungry, instead of like overriding that and ignoring that. Maybe you provide that. If your body's thirsty, you go get a water. Like, you notice these cues, and the more you do that, the more safety you can have in your body. And the more safety you have in your body, the easier it is for your body to lose the weight. Because there are some people who will do the exercises, eat all the food, eat all the right food, but they just can't lose it. And that's because the state at which you're doing it, you know, it literally feels you in your body, like the experience, the stress that your body feels is like is being chased by a lion. And so that's why it works against you in trying to lose the weight. So this, you know, this is just some of the, like, a few tips that like I have. And you know, remember, you don't lose weight by attacking your body. You lose weight when your body trusts you. And if this resonated with you, the next video is about what to do when your motivation disappears, because this too is also a safety issue. So stay tuned and thank you for watching.